Fair use is a legal doctrine that promotes freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use of copyright-protected works in certain circumstances. Section 107 of the Copyright Act provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use and identifies certain types of uses, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, as examples of activities that may qualify as fair use. Section 107 calls for consideration of the following 4 factors in evaluating a question of fair use: amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. Under this factor, courts look at both the quantity and quality of the copyrighted material that was used. If the use includes a large portion of the copyrighted work, fair use is less likely to be found. If the use employs only a small amount of copyrighted material, fair use is more likely. That said, some courts have found use of an entire work to be fair under certain circumstances.
Welcome to the broadcast. This is a source of information on all things related to commercial appliances. Welcome all of you that are new to commercial and those of you well-versed in this industry of ours. Your host is Mike Reed, a technician who has been in the industry for 32 years, with his beginnings working in his family's appliance business based out of the western suburbs of Chicago. Get ready for a truly interactive broadcast. Have all your questions ready and prepare yourself to truly engage with Mike and discuss ideas on all things related to commercial appliances. Without further delay, here is your host. Welcome to the broadcast. This is a source of information on all things related to commercial appliances. Welcome all of you that are new to commercial and those of you well.
Sorry about that. Welcome to the show. As CJ always
Being
say,
involved and being active on his YouTube channel. Well, welcome back.
How good of you to join us.
all right, hold on one second. Oh, good. All right, so that ended. All right, welcome to the show. My name is Mike Reed. Yeah, and what's up to everybody in the chat room? Y'all came in early for the DOGE stuff. Boy, anything having to do with Elon Musk, y'all gonna check in on that. All right, so that'll be a little bit later on in the show. I got hold on one second here. So I got some news stories. Unfortunately, it's going to be from CBS, which means they're probably going to strike me. on this one, but this is the only place I could find any type of information on what Elon Musk would have in store for the EPA. And that's something that affects everybody in our business. Before I get going, as usual, got the new training video up for the classes and whatnot. That's going to be at the end of the show. Hold on one second. Let me do that one more time. That's going to be at the end of the show. Trying to incorporate some shorts and whatnot and add that so you guys know that at least once a week you're going to have new information in the video. Untamed Kango, what's happening? Hell, all y'all can't see that anyway, so what the hell? We might as well get into it anyway. Let me pull this stuff up for y'all. Glad everybody came through today. I did put the video information up a little early. Made sure I brought my ass home. So Elon Musk is taking a butcher knife to the EPA. So what does that mean for the average person? All right, let me get into the video.
Workforce, more than 15,000 employees, has a budget of $9 billion. And a lot of the work of the EPA, I would argue, stands in direct opposition to what President Trump aims to do with his political and economic agenda. And so I imagine that they are hoping to purge a lot of these employees to help cut down on the red tape of the environmental oversight and bureaucracy that goes into environmental permitting, especially for a lot of energy projects that the president.
Hold on. Sorry about that. I have one video that you got to see that's got Elon in it. All right. Well, I'll bring you back to that one. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Workforce, more than 15,000 employees, has a budget of $9 billion. And a lot of the work of the EPA, I would argue, stands in direct opposition to what President Trump aims to do with his political and economic agenda. And so I imagine that they are hoping to purge a lot of these employees to help cut down on the red tape of the environmental oversight and bureaucracy that goes into environmental permitting, especially for a lot of energy projects that the president aims to develop over his next term.
And yet there are those who would say the EPA is there to provide a safer America environmentally. Is that in jeopardy?
That's a good question. You know, the EPA's role is to protect health and human health and the environment. That is what many of these employees have dedicated their lives to. And so there is definitely a concern that should all of these employees be purged, who will be there to do the work? And more importantly, a lot of these employees help oversee grants that have been handed out all across the country, local, state, private sectors to do some of this work. If those employees aren't there to help oversee workforce, more than 15,000 employees, has a budget of $9 billion. And a lot of the work of the EPA, I would argue, stands in direct opposition to what President Trump aims to do with his political and economic agenda. And so I imagine that they are hoping to purge a lot of these employees to help cut down on the red tape of the environmental oversight and bureaucracy that goes into environmental permitting, especially for a lot of energy projects that the president aims to develop over his next term.
And yet there are those who would say the EPA is
workforce, more than 15,000 employees.
So you get the idea. There's a lot of bloat in the EPA. Elon Musk has had his own run-in with the EPA. Elon Musk tried to do a shuttle launch, and he cools off the base of the rocket launch with potable water, which is fresh drinking water. So the EPA fined him for using fresh water. And so the EPA kind of kicked off this whole thing with Elon Musk going after them. And I actually have the story. Boy, you never can win. You never can win. Hold on one second. And so you can hear this directly from Elon Musk, the entire story. And of course, I'm having a really fun time trying to find this damn video. All right, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Sorry about that. Here we go.
In the form of irrational regulations. I'll give you a recent example that is just insane. Is that like SpaceX was fined by the EPA $140,000 for they claimed dumping potable water on the ground, drinking water. So, and we're like, this is at Starbase, and we're like, we're in a tropical thunderstorm region. That stuff comes from the sky all the time, and there was no actual harm done. It was just water to cool the launch pad during liftoff, and there's zero harm done. And they agree, yes, there's zero harm done. We're like, okay, so there's no harm done, and but you want us to pay a $140,000 fine? It's like, yes, because you didn't have a permit. Okay, we didn't know there was a permit needed for zero harm fresh water being on the ground in a place where fresh water falls from the sky all the time.
Got it. Next to the ocean.
Next to the ocean.
Because there's a little bit of water there too.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it rains so much the roads are flooded. So we're like, yeah, how does this make any sense?
Yeah.
And then then they were like, well, we're not going to process any more of your applications for Starship launch unless you pay this $140,000.
Yeah, so that's what set the man off. That's where this whole thing kicked off, was the freaking EPA. Now, EPA's got many different divisions. They got this whole thing chopped up, and ours has to deal with the refrigerants and everything having to do with that. So I got a little thing here from ESCO. ESCO had, they were talking about the rulings and what's going to happen with that.
It's just a completely new approach. And what that does is it sets global warming potential limits that determine which refrigerants you're allowed to use in the different, we call them end use equipment.
So the EPA determines what refrigerants can be used in the market and for how long. Then once they determine that the refrigerants that we are currently using are then deemed unsafe, they then outlaw it. So there's a viewer of the channel, and he likes to go on down to Mexico, and he likes to load up his truck with R12. Well, they also announced that if you are bringing back R12 from Mexico, they're going to lock you up and then hit you with a fine when you hit the border. So this is setting this gives you some of that background information on what's going on. So Elon Musk has a personal vendetta against the EPA.
Categories.
Yes.
So it just says, okay, for, air conditioning package units, as of this date, you're only allowed to use refrigerants with certain global warming potentials, right? It has to be under a certain level. There's a different date for compliance, for instance, refrigeration racks for supermarkets. And there's, chillers has a different set of timings and a different set of GWP limits. So you really just have to know which equipment sector you're looking at. And then you have to know what the GWP limits are.
And that's what's making this whole thing a nightmare.
For the refrigerants you're allowed to use, you have to pay attention to the dates that the regulations go into effect. And you have to pay attention to what the compliance date is based on. In some cases, it's based on the manufacture date. In other cases, it's based on the installation date. So there's just a lot of confusion in terms of understanding what are you supposed to be looking at, right? The EPA put out a series of fact sheets with tables that list all the end use sectors, but I know there's a lot of uncertainty. People look at these humongous fact sheets and they're just very uncertain. Am I looking at the right thing? Am I understanding this correctly? And of course, the consequences of making mistakes in those areas are absolutely huge. For an equipment manufacturer to have their entire manufacturing set up to use a particular refrigerant They've got to understand what are the dates where the refrigerant we're currently using is no longer legal, right?
Right. So that is where part of the chaos comes in at. These guys are buying large amounts of refrigerant, and they don't know exactly how long they're going to be able to hold on to it, because once they reach that certain date, they can no longer use it anymore. It becomes illegal for them to make any new equipment using that refrigerant. So that is right. So that is some of the issues they got going on. And she's about to break down the two different strategies that the manufacturers are currently going through.
Right? You don't want to be shipping illegal equipment to your clients out there, right?
Yeah.
You can imagine the disaster that would create. So we're getting a lot of questions with people saying, I read this, I have attended multiple webinars, but I still don't actually know where to look for my stuff, right? Like I do split systems for air conditioning. Which of the 57,000 tables here am I supposed to be looking at for my information? So it's a tough situation to be in.
It really is. I've spent a lot of time focusing in on the residential light commercial aspect of it, looking at our split systems, heat pump installations in particularly, because we have a very confused residential light commercial audience, many of which don't even understand that the HFC phase down through the AIM Act and through the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol have initiated this, but things like the technology transition rule have escalated even those. And so when we look at the equipment, we have to understand, are we looking at systems? Are we looking at components? Where do they fall in that?
That's right.
And it's very important for us to understand that not every manufacturer has read that exactly the same. So I've had the fortunate opportunity to be invited to a couple different manufacturing facilities over the last few months. One manufacturer of residential light commercial equipment, they decided that they were going to go ahead and convert all of their residential split system lines ahead of time to be fully compliant. So they have no R410A residential systems in manufacturing at this time. They've completely transitioned over through the summer, which is why we had a shortage of 2-ton and 3-ton residential split system outdoor units, because that transition was already being made. And so it took time to convert lines. And then at another facility I went to, they're riding it out to the very end. They're going to be manufacturing R410A equipment until midnight of December 31st. And then they're going to make their final equipment transition, and then they're going to go over to the refrigerant of their choice. So different manufacturers have approached that from different aspects. And so it really is going to come down to inventory. Whatever is left is going to be it. And so some of our contractors are looking at it going, but I've got this sell-through period. I'm going to focus on this sell-through.
More of the freaking chaos. So now they're going to break down the chaos that is the manufacturers have now bought refrigerant. The manufacturers have now manufactured coils, and they have the compressors for certain type of refrigerants, and then the controls for those refrigerants and those compressors and whatnot. And now you spin in the third part of it, which is once the installer gets the item, the installer has another date they got to deal with. So we're dealing with 3 separate dates.
Period. And I'll just grab what I need to from my local distributor, and I will sell that through the sell-through. And in some cases, that sell-through is not going to make it that entire time.
Well, and also the sell-through period and the manufacturing date, compliance dates, they are only even relevant for certain types of products, right? So the EPA created these 2 types of appliances. Now, it used to be there was this term appliance right from the beginning in the regulations, which has always been really problematic because regular people out there in the real world don't talk in terms of appliances. They talk about equipment and units and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, But in general, now on top of just understanding what an appliance is, which is the foundation of all the regulations, they've created two types, right? So your pre-charged packaged air conditioning units that are basically, ready to go from the factory, they've got all the refrigerant in them. There you've got that manufacturing date as the compliance deadline, and there is a certain sell-through period as long as the units have been manufactured prior to that deadline. However, you take something that is installed out in the field, right, set up, field installed and charged out in the field, there the compliance date is not based on manufacture, it's based on installation, right? So you have to, the manufacturing date is pretty irrelevant, right? And the EPA postponed one of those dates for air conditioning split systems because people rightly pointed out, since the deadline for this is based on installation, actually the deadline for us to purchase and order these systems is way before January 1st, 2025, if you
9 months
make
before.
that as the deadline, right? Because I've got to order that well in advance in order to be able to have it installed by January 1st. So they had to change that whole system around. And as long as all the components have been manufactured, prior to the deadline, you've got until January 1st, 2026, actually now to install it. So it's really, I think it's hard for people to understand the way I explain it to.
Okay. So that is about it. All right, Brother Orange, you're up. And I don't know if Saul is still here, but yeah, I'm using your format, brother. I'm using your format. So if you guys want to come up, you're more than welcome to come on up and voice your opinion. So Elon has, by him removing all of these new hires, by him presenting an early buyout to the rest of the EPA, there are fewer people there to help correct some of this madness that's going on out there. Right now, we're really in limbo, especially on the ice machine side. On the ice machine side, we're in limbo. We're trying to get the rulings to change on R290 and remotes. So what size remotes can we use? How long can the line be run? Do we have to add any type of fire suppression along the run, just like what they're proposing with AC? So that is where Elon is got us at. But I've shown you the video of where it all started. His whole thing.
In the form of irrational regulation. I'll give you a recent example.
That kind of kicked it off. And so now we're all in the mix. So Brother Orange, what you got to say, man? I see you came up.
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going on, brother? You got a question?
Now, I was telling you, man, the Goodman, they only units they stocking and selling are all 32 units. That's it. They're not really selling any more R410. You can probably find some at some of your local distributors, but as a main distributor like Goodman, all 32, they pushing it. They really moving it. Even with their ductless units, they pushing it heavy. Daikin, Amana, Goodman, all 32. Right.
A lot of these guys are pushing because it's the other stuff is no more. Mm-hmm. So that's what she was saying from ESCO, is that there's not even enough components. So they had to stop making this stuff, and they have equipment out there man, that they can't even put everything together. And now when you need to replace an existing system, when you got to work on an existing system, those parts are no longer available.
Mm-hmm. They really trying to push a lot of inverters. That's what they really. That's what I'm really trying to push, a lot of the inverters, because of the energy that you can save by using it. And, you know, I think everybody is conscious of this green and want to save energy, and I think those are some beautiful units, man. I mean, they cool your house, they heat your house perfect, but like I said, those 410 units,
yeah,
you're not really going to see them. They're not really efficient. I like all 32. I like some of the properties about it. Yeah, they run, the pressures run a little high, but I think it's going to be good for the environment, because just like how the lady was saying, I peeped that out a couple of weeks ago. I was listening to that. Matter of fact, I am subscribed to those guys.
Yeah, ESCO. Yeah, they're a large organization.
Yeah, they got some good information. I think it's good. I think it's good that they should regulate it, because I mean, you don't really want to be. I know I never been to California, but some of the pictures that I see, it's a real smoggy, polluted place. You know, I don't want the world to be like that. So I agree with them if they change it up a little bit. I think it'll be better for the industry too.
Well, the hills and the valleys. Well, all right. The problem you got is, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with all of this old equipment? So they're not allowing it. When you had the prior refrigerants, the equipment was allowed to operate. You were still allowed to repair everything. Refrigerant was still available, although the prices, speculators would play games with refrigerant. And so they would stockpile and everything else. And he said, no, ain't on Cali. They would stockpile refrigerant and make it go up. And then, then we had crash on some of the refrigerants, some of the older refrigerants from back in the day, because they inflated the price of the refrigerant so high that people said, yeah, I'm not even going to bother repairing this anymore. So now these guys are stuck with all this old refrigerant. And now we're leaping forward. We're actually joining up with the rest of the world. So the rest of the world was already using this stuff. But so have you taken any of those classes for the new A2Ls?
Yeah, I got one coming up with Goodman, March the 3rd. We're gonna take it. Well, I had a brief class. It was a brief introduction on it. I've seen some stuff online on YouTube. It's different, but it's just all about ventilate. Just keep making sure that the quantity of the refrigerant don't get so out of hand that it could spark or cause a problem.
Right. They were talking about some like isolating valves, or they were talking about some kind of like alarm system.
Yeah, they got like a leak detector that you got to put in the evaporator. So like if there is a leak, it'll shut the unit down.
Right.
Just a condenser, it'll stop that gas from flowing. But my whole thing is, if you got a leak in the system, yeah, you're gonna keep that blower motor running, whether the compressor's running or not, it's still leaking.
Right, and it is. It's gonna be enough air to gas where it's not gonna be enough to combust anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, a small leak over time, the system is gonna run dry anyway. So
I think a lot of the technicians are scared because of the simple fact they think. I mean, you got to be careful. No matter anything you do, you got to be careful. It's just making the installer a little more conscious of how they're installing the equipment now, because like 410, 22, you can just slap them things in. Sometimes you can get by if you just pull a mediocre vacuum. you know some of the trades, you know some of the stuff that they go on the trades, you know. But with this, it's kind of getting them scared, like, oh man, I got to make sure. Yeah, you have to. So it's kind of keeping everybody on their P's and Q's. Like I said, I like the advancements that the industry is taking as far as changing up the gases. We was feeling the same way when they introduced 410. Everybody was bugging out. Everybody was going crazy. Oh, we got 22. We got to go to 410. Oh man, what the hell? Da 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 da. Look what happened. Now he's freaking out again.
Yeah, but you got to admit, this is a completely different game. Now, so pretty soon I won't even be able to fix the AC system that I got right here. And it's crazy because the brother in the chat, brother Saul, because Saul is not in the country anymore. Saul is out of the country. And so, but his family's still here, and he wants me to go over to Louisiana. So they've already got a problem with their system. I'm in Texas, they're in Louisiana. Chances are she got an old system. And now everybody's forced to buy a new system. So right, everybody has to buy a new system because I won't be able to get the refrigerant and all that other stuff, because right now I can still buy 12, but now that's done. So they're going to start shutting down all that whole internet sales. So whatever the guys got, like in Chicago, we got warehouses, and those guys, just like I said, they have pallets of R12 stacked up to the ceiling. So it's, once they're done with their inventory, and then are they going to make their inventory illegal? So there's a whole lot of stuff up in the air about that.
But Mike, listen, I guarantee before that happened, they're gonna come out with an alternative refrigerant, just the way they came out with an alternative refrigerant for R22. Now, think about it. Think about it too. Look at it like this too.
Well, yeah.
Every compressor has oil. You got mineral oil. You got POE oil. Yeah. Right. And so that oil is compatible with a certain freon.
Right.
Because so if you understand the friction, and you understand that what you're trying to control, and you understand, hey, I can mix this refrigerant with this particular oil. Yeah, it may be, you may have to do some retrofitting, but you can still get by. The same thing with all 410. It's a mineral, it's a POE oil. You know what? There could be an alternative that's already on the market. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're looking at the breakdown of all 32, I'm not really going to talk that much about it because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But
here's one that's this is R32 versus 410A. So yeah, they're just saying it's a better refrigerant. Hold on, let me see what I can find here.
You gotta look at the chemicals.
Yeah, and the glide. So the most drop-ins, most are blends anyway. So there's still some of the old refrigerant in there. It's just a whole lot less. So how do you even make a drop-in? How do you make a drop-in if you include any of the old stuff?
Yeah, see, that this is what I'm saying. If you study the chemical compound of the refrigerant, like the chemicals that they have in the refrigerant, right? And then you study the boiling points, you study the pressures. You always gonna have a pressure temperature relationship. The same way that you may not be able to get a OEM TXV valve, but you can get a TXV valve that can still operate or give you the temperature that you're trying to get. The same thing with HVAC. If you really wanted to retrofit something, you could really be like, how can I say, rogue about it? But if you got a license, you have that ability to modify or even design one. You see what I'm saying? If there's no laws against it. You see, so if they, like you said, if the EPA is trying to restrict some of the laws, yeah, you could get some of the refrigerant, but this is where you got to get down into the chemicals. Like, okay, yeah, if we can't get this particular one, what could be an alternative? And you being that person that know, okay, this is what this unit should be operating at. Would a manufacturer cover this if we do a slight modification, like stuff like that?
Manufacturer's not covering it.
See, so,
I thought you knew that. Manufacturer's not covering it. Yeah,
I know.
So yeah, because they're not even allowed to make equipment to bridge that gap. So that's what I'm saying. They had to stop. That's what her whole speech was about. Was that they had to stop. So sometimes they're just. She gave the example. One is going full bore until they get that notice from the EPA. Stop. The other one says, no, we're going to stop now because we got to buy all this material and everything else. So that's what I said. It's crazy out there. Train, Goodman, Daikin. Everybody has their own game plan.
But you know what, Mike?
What's that?
I heard Train and Carrier are going with the, what is it? R454. They got their own brand of refrigerant. Just like, remember, Carrier, Puron was the brand for Carrier.
Right.
So is they doing the same thing? R32 is going to be the refrigerant for Goodman equipment, Daikin and Amana. R404 going to be for Carrier and Train. So it's like
can't. They've already banned the 448.
No, I'm sorry, R454.
Oh, 454. Hold on.
It's a new refrigerant like R32. R32 is a pure refrigerant. If my memory serves me correct.
Yeah, it's 454B.
Yeah, 454B. I think they said R32 was like kind of gave you the impression that it was like acetylene or something. I'm not for sure, but it's just like when you cleaning out the pipes and everything. I just want to take the test. You know, you pick up little things, but I want to take the class and be sure about everything before we move forward. Because I got a big job coming up, and we putting these 10-ton units in.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna take some pictures.
All right, cool. So here it is. Here's what you're talking about, the 454B Train. Because, like I said, everybody's betting on something different. Everybody's betting on it. Because I said 12 before. I meant to say R22. The older refrigerants such as R22 phased out, replaced by 410A. And so there's the 454B replacing the 410A. Let me make
look right there. You see what it says?
It says,
yep, keep going.
It's a blend of 32 and R123.4, which YF, which is a blend of 134A.
Right.
It's a blend of 134A. So it's only a matter of time before that gets phased out. That's what I'm saying. So so this is what they've already got an exit strategy. They're phasing in 454B. That was last year. And then they're getting out of it. So they're going to use XR15. What the heck? Oh, that's for their heat pump. So this is what they're going on. And depending on what Elon Musk does to slow down the EPA, just based on the fact that they won't have enough employees. He got rid of all the new hires. I worked for the government once, and it's like you had your probationary period. Sometimes it's like a year and a half. Sometimes it's 2 years, depending on what kind of union they got. And then after that, like right at that date, they can even up to that date, they can say you're hired or we're going to terminate your employment. And that's what he did. He just terminated all those because they're not a full employee yet. So there's zero repercussions for him letting go all these new hires. And they just hired all those people because everybody else retired. So he's kind of like he's kind of just strangling some of these agencies. But now that y'all know, hey, he's got a particular grudge up against EPA. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild, man. Who knows what the hell's going on?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
The field is ripe for harvest, brother. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, those same people at ESCO, they had a whole. I think that was today. They had a live stream where they were talking about how, all these guys are retiring. All these guys are retiring.
Looking for teachers, yeah. Looking for teachers, yeah.
Okay, so you did see it. You did.
I told you I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
Making them teachers, and that's brother. On the other stuff that doesn't even have refrigerant in it, they're doing that. So on the other pieces of equipment, these guys have retired not once but twice. So they bring them back and they have them teach, and then they have them do other stuff, and then they have them do install. They have them do installs. These guys are 70 years old, and I'm not talking about like a distributor or some third party company. I'm talking about the actual manufacturers having these guys go out and do installs. This is wild.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You know what? This you probably gonna have to pull some strings because I know you know people in high places.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Listen.
It's funny.
You may have to get in like some type of see if they can offer some type of sponsorship where they can have another facility, training facility, let's say somewhere down south where it's a little warmer instead of going to them damn cold climate areas, man.
It's the cost. It's the cost of it all. It's the cost. So once again, now you got to put a multi-million-dollar facility down there. You got to staff the multi-million-dollar facility. And then you have to rotate all those people in and out of there. You got to rotate all those people in and out of there. So that's...
Man, I hear nothing but excuses, brother. That's all I'm hearing.
I'm not saying it's excuses. All right, so I'm putting the thing together myself, and I'm saying,
okay,
my level, even at my level, it costs a couple $1 million. The nearest, the other companies like Ecolab and all them, they spend like $24 million doing their training facility. So it's you have what they've done over the decades is they have relied on these distributors to have these little half-ass classes. And that's why I'm doing my best to put this information out, because at least people just get a foundation. They don't have to be worried about or scared to even go in and take a look at the equipment. And once they get this rudimentary foundation, they can go further on with it.
Mike.
What's that now?
So you trying to tell me if I go out and rent out let's say I rent out a building.
Oh yeah, let's go.
You trying to tell me Manitowoc or Hoshisaki can ship some equipment down there and set up a training lab, and I can guarantee that at this point, everybody coming to this facility, we training them. And if I can get at least 10 or 15 people or 10 or 15 service technicians trained to operate exclusively on Hoshisaki or Manitowoc equipment, they won't sponsor me for an operation like that.
Brother, those days are gone and they're not coming back.
Damn.
You're talking about something that used to be back. You're talking about something that, all right, this stuff didn't exist. They started these training programs lightly in the 2000s. In the very early 2000s, when I was a kid, and I would call up the tech support and stuff like that and ask people, how to do this and how to do that. The factory's answer was, talk to the guy that's training. Click.
Serious.
So that's where their standpoint was. Like I said, this is a very guarded. You're trying to convince people that are my father's age. My father's in his 70s. You're trying to convince people that are 70 years old to give a fuck. They've already took their football and they're going home. They don't care. They refuse to care. They refuse. All right. So all the new people that they're bringing in, they're also corporate people. They don't care. They will just jump like rats from a burning ship. They do not care. You care. I care. They'll just leave and go to those people that's in corporate America. They'll leave and go to Hewlett Packard. They'll leave Hoshizaki and go to Cisco. They'll leave and go anywhere. They don't care. The job is the job is the job. They don't care. They can care less. What we're talking about, they have been. So the training that you guys are privy to is there are chosen service companies around the country that have been with these factories since the 80s. And well, some since the 50s. So 50s, 60s, 80s. And they already have equipment there. So I guess you haven't seen some of my stuff. So they will train you this stuff. They will forklift that stuff off, hook it up. They have 220 volts. They have ventilation. They have 3-phase. They have all the stuff that they need. And the factories will truck that stuff in. They'll fly the trainer in. They'll give the class. And then they haul ass. The trainer hauls ass afterwards. Guys will package that stuff up, put it back in the crate, and ship that stuff off. Now, the romanticism that you got with this is that even with these classes that we have, that they don't let y'all go to, even with still just sitting there at a desk looking at a screen while the equipment is lined up along the wall. When we do get a chance to like look at it, work on it, it's like 5 or 6 of us crowded around it. Now they might have 8 or 9 pieces of equipment, but we still have to crowd around the one that they wheel on, the one that they wheel on the car, the one that, you know what I'm saying? So they can only really set up one unit at a time. So now you got the entire class just looking over each other's shoulders at one unit. This only goes on for like a year or two. So for what you're talking about, what needs to happen is a hands-on class. Hands-on class means a couple of weeks. It means a couple of weeks. Just rationale. Rationale is the thing that you. Oh yeah, ready. Yeah. Hold on, I would have to mute him. Let me see if I can bring this up. Yeah, I muted you. So when you're ready to talk, just hit the unmute. Yeah. So the problem I have when I talk to the guys out there and the women that's out there, and they're working on stuff. Most don't even have the rudimentary knowledge on this stuff. Hold on, he posted me a link. Most don't. So people are at so many different levels. And when you take a guy that's advanced and you put him in the same training class with somebody that goes, what's a contactor? It's problems. So now you engage the person who doesn't know the basics. And the guy that's advanced, that wants to know about an advanced thing, has not checked out. You'll have 2 or 3 guys in the back snoring, sleeping, talking on the phone, doing this one. And so now what do? How you gonna categorize these people according to what they know? Even when I try to tell you guys, hey man, this is an advanced class. You ain't gonna learn shit when you go to this class. They're not covering basics. This is for people that have been working on this stuff for over a decade, and they want to know about parts that you could swap and, you know, what to do on disassembling and then putting a whole new guts on a unit. Something that new people aren't going to do. LED handyman, man, that link isn't able for me. I can't click on that, brother. I can't click on it. Can't click on it. Send it to me on Instagram, bro. Send it to me on Instagram. So that is the problem that you have. So you haven't, and I know for a fact you haven't broken down the numbers. What is your insurance like on that? What happens if somebody sticks their hand in a unit and boom, it gets broken? What's the insurance like on that training facility?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
some thought got to go into it. Yeah. But that's the end goal. But yes.
Well, I understand that, but end goal,
yeah,
beginning goal, it still has to happen. You still have to have insurance to cover that kind of thing because these people are sticking their hands in equipment. You want them to, you're doing hands-on. So what happens if somebody gets zapped?
Got to get them contracts right. We got to make them sign a contract.
Nah, brother. That is wishful thinking. That is wishful thinking. Hey, man, that just because you have them sign paperwork doesn't mean there's a lawyer out there that won't pull it. And guess who got to pay? Guess who got to pay? You have to defend yourself. Whether they sign, they have to get their day in court just for you to say that you made them sign. And then your stuff has to fit OSHA standards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you aren't crossing, crossing your T's and dotting your I's and meeting all the OSHA standards as if it is an actual workplace, because now you got them working, you got them touching equipment, and you got all these people buzzing around, and you have to keep eyes on all of them. So now you got, like I said before, you got staff, you got the ladies that got to work the front, got to order the lunch, got to do all that, got to book everybody's, keep an eye on everybody's flight going home and all that other kind of stuff. Yeah, Brother Frank. Yeah. So you got all of that stuff going on. So now you need an additional helper in that class. You need an additional helper in that class, which they normally do. It's normally, for a semi-hands-on class, it's normally 2 guys minimum in there. Then you got to have all the booklets and everything. All that stuff has got to be handed out. How much is that costing you? Hey, my name should be on YouTube. All right. You got all that going on. All right. Polly, I don't. Sorry about that. I'm checking this. I'm checking down the screen to see where everybody else is at. There's other people trying to get on, and I can't see them.
You sound better. You sound louder now, man. You sounding like
I got so much stuff that loads up whenever I do a show. I got my pad, and my pad, I hit one button and boom, 20 things. I got 20 things that pop up. Got 20 things that pop up whenever we come through here. So that's what I'm trying to say. You got all of that. You got the logistics of that. That's why you see some places have where you can stay at a hotel. A lot of people got rid of that. There we go. A lot of people got rid of the hotel, and you gotta do your own. And then who's the people that's staying? I mean, who's the people that's going to attend this class, and for how long?
Man, it'll just be people that pass the test. I'm working up on the test because I'm going over these books, so I'm working up on the ice machine test. You know, so before you step foot in the class, it's just like with anything, you got to pass some type of test to test your competency level.
Yeah, there's
You know,
a lot of that, but they'll have somebody else take the test. They'll have somebody else
nah,
take
but yeah, it don't matter because
I
once
know.
we get into it, we're gonna see whether you're gonna pass or fail. Hey man, you don't belong here, man. Get up out of here. You gonna jeopardize the operation.
So how do you get people in? So
Uh,
if they don't meet your standards, how do they get in?
I'm gonna do some effective recruiting. So by doing that, by saying recruit them, I know a couple of people, a couple of young guys that don't have really nothing to do. So I'm trying to print out these little manuals that I have, not too much information because I know just by me reading it, and I know AC is the same thing, but it's kind of foreign because I'm used to dealing with air, but now I got to deal with water. It's like, man, what? So,
brother, I wish you the best on that. I've been doing this. I've been doing this since '92. I done trained hundreds of guys, and I wish you the best of luck on that.
But you know what, Mike? I'm gonna tell you this. So far, I got my son, and I got 3 other guys is with me, and you know we on the HVAC side. So yeah. I'm taking this leap into this particular side. We all dibbled and dabbled with ice machines, but hey, all right, whatever, okay, Lottie died and call somebody else, you know. But now I'm seeing like, oh man, I'm losing out. So I'm gonna jump into this. So if I can understand it and I can teach them, perfect. You know?
That's what everybody does. Because when you have your slow periods on the on the AC side, you know, that's what people do. They'll come on over and make some money with ice machines when it's slow.
Mm-hmm. I've been looking at those dishwashers. I'm like, ooh, I may have to get into that too. You open too many doors, my man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's every single thing is open, and dishwasher tech. That market is suffering more than any other. Right. So like here, there's a company that is, you know, they're a multi-million-dollar service company. Their parent company, their revenue has a B in it. The amount of money has a B in it.
Wow.
And they got one. They went from 8 dishwasher techs, 7 of them retired. They only got 1.
Wow.
The largest city in the country. They only got 1. So yeah, it's rough out there, man. It's rough.
I'm out here in Florida, and like I was hearing the guys talk, some of the guys in the chat, and I know they got a $1 million homes and everything out here, but I never really thought about that these homes will have ice machines in them. You understand? Or yet even that a dishwasher, you know?
Yeah, not just one ice machine. Sometimes they have 3 or 4.
Because I service some of these homes, and you know, the last thing that you're gonna look for is an ice machine. I'm like hearing these guys ice machines in the house. What are they talking about? You mean like the refrigerator ice machine? But I'm like saying it makes sense. It's a big house. You may have like a big like a under counter ice machine somewhere if you got a wine cellar.
They will have a 400 or 500 pounder in the garage. And they'll have an under counter residential at the pool. They'll have another one in the bar, and then they'll have one in the kitchen.
See, I miss all that money just going to do the AC.
You're not missing that. The money's still there. The money, it ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. Unless they call my home, they ain't going nowhere. That money's still there.
I'm about to go back and collect.
Yeah, that money's still there. Yeah, but Polly, which is Milieu or whatever the hell you call yourself. I don't know what the hell you call. What's up, brother? What kind of question you got? Oh, we missing this brother. What's going on, man? I got you.
He probably trying to load up.
Yeah, I'm texting him right now because he's on my Instagram. He's on the Instagram. And then LED Handyman, I can't. Let me see if he sent me something. All right. What the hell is this brother sending me? Images of. Damn, I don't have my. Oh, there's my old man glasses. But yeah, brother, you're not missing anything. Yeah, you'll go to these large homes. You'll actually go to some of these people that have Airbnb. They have commercial dishwashers and commercial ice machines.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, what are you talking about? That? All right, so LED. Hey, Elo's Appliance. What's happening? All right, I got your link. LED Handyman, I got your link. But brother, you talking about MO99, which don't nobody like MO99. And then you talking about the hell is he talking? He's talking about a lot of MO99. MO99 is expensive as hell. His mic not work. Okay, his mic is not working. All right, we'll be here for you, brother. We'll be here for you. And then LED Handy. Everybody's having technical difficulties. 407C is also done. 407C is being phased out.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. They're trying to monopolize. I'm telling you, if you look at it, man, if you really look at it, they're really trying to force a lot of people to get certified or licensed to deal with a lot of this high efficient equipment that they're coming out with. I'm telling you, they're gonna start pushing inverters. Because even if you look at some of the equipment that's coming out now, most of the condenser fan motors are DC. Some of your most of your blower motors are DC. I mean, if you really sit back and think about it,
yeah,
most of those inverter units themselves are small, or like a small commercial VF. What is it? VAV system. You know, everything is programmed in the microprocessor. You know, sensors all plugging into the board. It's just like ice machines, just like the Neo Next, that little Indigo. Everything plugged into that little microprocessing board and it's sending out signals. It's telling that ice machine what to do. The same thing with this inverter. The technology about the inverter technology is changing the game. Trust me.
Right.
Now,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the inverter technology. You got that condenser unit outside. You don't even know that it's running.
Right. Yeah, because it's more energy efficient and all that other good stuff.
They got a 3-phase compressor in it, running off single phase.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, all right. So on the residential side, Electrolux came out with that back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Electrolux was the first one that had that inverter, and they were dying. They were dying left and right when they first came out, as most introductory stuff does. But hey, LED Handyman, there it is, your 407C. This year they don't want them using 407C. They don't want them using 407C. Yeah, so it is a lot of your phasing out synthetic refrigerants. Let's see what the hell. That, like I said, all this stuff is, man, it is all over the place. It's very hard to follow, like she said. But for us, it's all about the refrigerant.
Hey, Mike, you know what? You know what's going to happen?
What's that?
You got to start paying attention to your state laws now. Because you know, it might be like, oh, this one state may allow 410 units. Because you know how you probably still got some states. I don't know. It's like some of these states in right here in America, some of these units probably still got all 22 or all 12 in it, and they still being able to get it.
Mine got 22.
See?
Yeah, mine got 22. So, all right. So the only two states you're gonna have an issue with is gonna be California and New York.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two you're gonna have to look at. Illinois don't give a damn. Florida don't give a damn. Texas don't give a damn. Mississippi, it's Mississippi's lucky if it can spell its own name, and Alabama damn sure don't care. Alabama damn sure don't care. So, brother, that's just something that's strictly going to be a California thing. Straight up, that's going to be a California thing. But yeah, they are getting rid of 407C, and it is. Hold on, man. Let me find this thing for man, I wish I could find that article. Because the only person that's really affected is one guy that I know of that's bringing. Let me see. I'll just say bringing R12 to USA. The only one guy I know that's doing that, and they're saying, "Hey, look, man, they're actually going to be looking for that at the border."
Mm-hmm.
They're actually going to be looking for that at the border, and they said they're going to start prosecuting. They said they're going to start prosecuting. So all this other stuff, this is older. So brother, I know you bring that stuff over up to the roof of the vehicle, but yeah, I'd be careful if I was you.
Hey, what's that that one particular refrigerant they putting in cars now? It's not 134A. I think it's
I1234 YF.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the boiling characteristics of that Freon?
It's 134A.
Right. If you're looking at the boiling characteristics, right, and I'm saying too much.
What?
I'm telling you, like, I don't think we're really gonna have an issue with refrigerant, the ones that they have on the market, because as long as it's somewhat compatible with that oil that's in the compressor and it's available, like I said, you may have to do some adjustment to the TXV valve or some other extreme type measure, but it ain't. I wouldn't really say that it's going to be that extreme.
Yeah, they're gonna make it where you're gonna have to build your own TXV to make it work, because they're not going to be selling the TXV. That's the thing.
But this what's going to happen. You know, you're dealing with those electronic expansion valves now. They got 16 steps, so you're going to have to convert everything over. You're going to have to convert everything over to a variable speed air handler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they got little adapters that you can do it. Variable speed air handler. You got a variable speed condenser compressor. You're gonna have to have a TXV either on the inside or the outside.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I feel you. I mean, it is a will. I mean, you can do it. It's just the cost involved in all this stuff. The customer's like hell with it, and especially if they can't get you to come back later on, or they don't want to pay you later on, they up the creek. That's the whole problem. They up the creek. They're us do it.
It's not that bad, because the way most of the AC units are being manufactured now, you're still getting introduced to DC and how DC operates. You see what I'm saying? Because you got an inverter blower motor and an inverter condenser motor. They all being plugged into the inverter board. So you're still getting some introduction to it. Now they got, I think it's called Ecobee or something, where you can get an inverter condenser unit. Even Samsung is doing the same thing. They got like a little adapter where you just wire, just like how you wind up a thermostat. You wire the thermostat up the same way that you would, but you wind it to the board, and from the board you're taking it to the equipment. And that little process is going to do everything. It's going to tell that unit what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're making it easy.
Yeah, it all depends on who's out there. Everybody got their own feelings.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I've been through this so many times before. It is what it is. It don't bother me. It is what it is. So this is the Ecobee smart thermostat, because I had heard about it. So there it is. Mitsubishi Systems, Fujitsu, LG.
They didn't have them before. They're just now making them for inverters. They didn't have them. They didn't have those thermostats like that before. Yep.
All Ecobee thermostats are able
I'm
to
sorry.
accept some older ones, I guess, except the
Oh,
smart.
yeah, you can't, but you can't use that one with a communicating system. I'm sorry. You can't because you got inverters and then you got fully communicating unit. Fully
So
communicating is something totally different.
they say right here, you got to purchase an addition to the system in order to get it to work with the with the inverter. With the inverter.
No, you don't want that.
Well, these are just some of the stuff that's going on out there. Some of the stuff that's going on out there. And so, like what Mayab said, EPA is federal. If you could buy it, you can use it. Well, the end user, if they can buy it, they can use it. What I was talking about earlier was distributors, manufacturers. Manufacturers can buy it, but they can't use it.
But you know what?
He probably missed the video in the beginning because that's what ESCO was talking about. They were talking about how they had to stop. They had to stop using the stuff.
Hey, but you know what, Mike?
What's that?
This something that I wasn't really paying attention to, but now that you brought this up on the screen, you got to remember when you're dealing with central air and heating, you're dealing with pounds, right? More than 6 pounds.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with those ductless units, you're probably dealing with a full charge may be at least 3 pounds or 4, right?
Yeah.
So check out where I'm going. So in order for them to get around shipping a unit or trying to say, okay, charging this unit up, this condenser pre-charged with 8 or 10 pounds of Freon.
Oh, they're not gonna do that.
Listen what I'm saying. Because these condenser units, they come from the factory already pre-charged. But what I'm saying is that they probably come in charge from the factory, pre-charged from the factory, like with maybe 10 pounds of refrigerant. But if you're looking at a ductless, right, they come from the factory pre-charged with 3 pounds, right? And that's enough to cool or heat the house. So if you're looking at energy fact, if you're looking at the energy, if you're looking at it from an energy point of view and a cost point of view and a refrigerant charge point of view, meaning that there is a leak in the system, I can go to the local distributor and get a small can, the same can that they use to charge up an ice machine. I can use that same can to charge up this system. So that means that our production of Freon isn't that great now because we're only dealing with small quantities now. So then you might be able to get away with a 410, or you might be able to get away with a 22 because you're looking at the damage that it may have on the ozone.
Well, all right, 600 and 290 have zero effect. They're naturally occurring refrigerants. That's why they're using them. CO2 is 0. So that's why they're going to those.
Yeah, for that's like for ducted.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if you're looking at it, saying like if it's a loophole where they can say we can get away with having a 410 unit, you could probably put that 410 in a mini split or a ductless unit, because the depletion, if that unit leak, if there's a leak in the system, it's not that much to cause that much damage per se versus a 10-ton or a 20-ton unit that's leaking 410 or whatever, or 22. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the states may try to push some type of energy bill to say, look, we'll give you X, Y, and Z rebate if you would like to get these ductless units in your house.
They've been doing that for years. They've been doing that for years. Hold on. No. That's nothing new. Yeah, no. Yeah. No, they've been doing that. They've been doing that for years. So here's you get up to a $5,000 rebate in Texas. I know Florida got it. Yeah, this is the Texas website. This isn't like a third party. So these are Texas energy rebate. Anytime you get rid of your old AC, yeah, they'll give you up to $5,000 in rebates. They want you to get rid of all that old stuff. Single family.
Yeah, I seen that advertisement on YouTube.
Oh yeah, no, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. See, qualifies.
And the homeowner themselves have, how would the homeowner themselves have to sign up for that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they was talk. They was talking something about that. The same thing. They was talking that the clip that you just posted. They had a video talking about the energy rebates that the state offer.
Right.
And I do believe one of the guys said that they mail the homeowner a credit card or some type of bar scan or something that the contractor just scan, and they get their money.
They do a lot of instant rebate. That's what you're talking about, is the instant rebate. And then they have the tax credit. So cash up to $2,150 in Florida. That's in Florida. So Texas is $5,000. So Florida Power and Light is the one administering this, taking care of that. You know, they've been doing this for a long time. So you don't really sell systems.
Nah, I'm getting into it now. Like I just got my license, so I'm just starting this business up right now.
Yeah, so when you get into selling the systems, they push this heavy. Okay. Yo, no news. What's up, man? Just no machines with that. Let me see here. 600 is propane. R290 is butane. Yeah, very good for the environment. Ammonia and CO2 is also great. Yeah, ammonia 717. And they got another 744 or whatever. Those are all ammonia. And you got your CO2. But yes, sir. That is. Let me see if I can. Okay. So yeah, that is what's happening. That is what's happening. Anybody want me to replay that Elon Musk thing? It's only 1 minute. There's only 1 minute if y'all want to see it, because I don't know, y'all coming in super late. Super late. I see what the other guys don't do this stuff till they last hour. CJ and all of them don't do this stuff till they last hour. But yeah, we got a long road. We got a long road ahead of us with the whole EPA thing. And like I said, the rebates are never ending. So I know in Chicago they offer it. Well, not just Chicago, but Illinois. All right. Let's see. And that'll be 2025. So far, okay, so Illinois looks like they're maxing out at $2,000. So far, Texas is the highest one. Texas is the highest one with their $5,000.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
How is business in Texas as far as like HVAC and refrigeration?
It's great. It's great. Everybody here is humping. They humping, brother. Yeah, everybody I know does commercial though. Everybody does commercial. So this is.
I got a mom.
What's that?
I got a mom and sister out there.
Yeah, because let me see here. Today I think we were 70, 75 or 78 degrees today.
It's snow in Texas, right?
Yeah, we just had snow a couple weeks ago.
See, I can't even move out there, man. I got a phobia. I don't like snow.
No, all right, here's the thing. It snowed, but it was the first time we had snow in like forever. The last time we had snow, my daughter was like 2 or 3. And it was just a blanket. No, I'm in Houston. I'm in we have palm trees. We have ackee and we have all kind of tropical stuff that grows here.
Yeah, but it's snow.
The last time it snowed, I think it was like 19 or something like that.
What's the lowest the temperature get out there?
Sometimes it get like 30 degrees. So tonight is going to be 48. But like, you know, as you can look at the screen, we're going to be, so during the day, 70, 77, 76, 74, and then we're going to dip down to 68, but then we'll be right back up to 75.
Oh, that's like
it's
Florida.
The same thing with New Orleans. Yeah, it's like Florida. Only we can get a little colder than Florida. So we're basically along the same lines with like West Palm Beach. So I really didn't miss much. Basically along the same. You could draw a line from Houston, and you know, and you pretty much. Well, I take that back. Tallahassee. Although this part of Houston curves down. This part of Texas curves down. So we curve all the way down to Mexico. But if you know, because I-10 goes straight across. I-10 takes you from Houston, New Orleans, Biloxi, and then you end up hitting those Florida cities on I-10. But you know, we're one of the we're the largest, you know, the largest of the fastest growing cities. So that is why, and then we just don't have any decent technicians here. Hold on, let's show you. So yeah, see, it depends on. Hold on, I'm gonna have to drop this one. Depending on where I search, but I will. Hold on, let me drop this one. I'm having some problems with this page. I'm about to do a new one. All right, hold on. So if I do Houston metro population, it come up with a crazy ass number. It come up with 7 million. All right, come up, and this is weird. It come up with metro. That's Katy, Sugarland, where I am. There's Pearland, Kingwood, Spring, the Woodlands. So it puts us at 7 million people, and they said the 5th. So we're bigger than Atlanta. Who the hell is number 4? It's supposed to be New York, LA, Chicago, and Houston. But whatever. These numbers are weird. But yeah, that's what you're dealing with, man. That's what you're dealing with. So it is, if you can only imagine, and the construction here, if something is 7 years old, it's considered old.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like Florida. Like you got a lot of new construction. And
yeah, we're about all them crazy roads, man. High overpasses.
Well, that ain't crazy. That ain't crazy. That's just no traffic. You don't know. You don't see the overpass because you got the barriers, so you don't drive off the side. So like you just driving. You just driving.
Skyscraper overpasses. I'm like, oh boy.
You know, I'm used to that. I'm from Chicago. We have, you know, we go underground, we go over. We got Lower Wacker Drive where you got 3 roads stacked on top of each other.
Man,
so 3. So it never bothered me. I guess if you're coming from Florida, it would. But if you from New York, if you from Chicago, if you from I haven't been out to LA, but you know, if you out of those places and we have all these highways on top of each other, you're not gonna think twice about it.
Man, I'm just a country Southern boy, man. Just give me something to say.
This is a country town. This is the South. You get over that real quick.
Not with them bridges, man.
Louisiana is an hour. It's like an hour, 10 minutes from me.
You know what?
Country than them eating Nutria and shit like that. An hour away from me.
My sister drove from Texas to Florida for my father's funeral, right? And she said she had Louisiana. I think they have like a bridge you got to cross over some water or something. Yeah. And she was telling me about that bridge. She said it's a pretty long bridge. I say, They don't got no. There's no other way around the bridge. I hate driving over water. I don't know why.
You're at the water. You can't, if you're gonna be in Florida, if you're gonna be in Louisiana, if you're gonna be in Texas, well, Southeast Texas, you're gonna be over water. Now, if you don't want to deal with that, you can go to Austin. You can go to Dallas. You'd be cool with that. They ain't no water. Now, talk about crazy driving. Now, there's crazy driving.
Yo, you got a crazy some of these people from Texas down here in Florida now. You telling me about crazy driving? I'm like, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
I have a problem crossing over the bridge to go to St. Pete, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, hey man, I can't help you with that one. I can't help you with that one. I can't help you. It is what it is, brother. It is what it is.
Now I was thinking about Texas, moving out to Texas. You know, I got family out there. I was thinking about moving out there and see what it was all about.
Man, who don't? That's like saying I got family in Atlanta. Everybody got family in Atlanta. Everybody got family in Texas somewhere, either Dallas or Houston. So I think, yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to see where she was at. I gotta remember. I know it's somewhere. It's in my phone somewhere. I got the address and everything. I can't remember the area.
Shoot. Yeah, brother, because the only way you're gonna do it to drive around without having to go through the water, because brother, Louisiana used to be a swamp. You know, New Orleans, that's all swamp. That's all swamp. So that's what you're driving over. You driving over the swamp. So if you want to avoid that long ass bridge, because that bridge is driving over the water. Now you talking about driving up, you're going to have to drive up halfway up Texas into Louisiana, and then you're going to have to drive down. So instead of a 2-hour drive, you're going to end up driving 6 hours.
I'd rather fly, man. I'll fly. Shit, I'll fly.
Yeah, it's a 15. It's what is it, like an hour to go from here to New Orleans? Because I think I'm actually gonna miss Mardi Gras this year. I normally try to go to Mardi Gras every year.
You know, I wanted to get over my phobia. I wanted to say, you know what? Let me just take muster up the courage to drive down to Key West. And I said, you know what? You lost your rabbit ass mind. I'm not driving to damn Key West. I say, if they had a train, I'd take a train, but just like being in the car, I don't know, man. I don't know.
This damn thing. I don't know what the hell happened to this damn map. I hate when it does that.
You have a girlfriend in every port.
Get this thing to move. All right, brother. As you can see,
that'd be a bad idea.
As you can see with the map, look, man, you're driving over water. All right, so we got a big bay. I mean, that's how they ship the oil out of here. Our stuff is so, it can accommodate Amazon bringing their own tankers in here. So Amazon brings their stuff in. Into the Bay of Houston. Let me see if they'll show a ship. So they're bringing ships from Asia directly to Houston. So hold on, Amazon tankers. Hold on, let me see if I can find that.
Is that bridge is real high, right? So them boats and everything can come in and everything, right?
There you go. And it ain't just one, it's all of them. It's all of
them. Boy, oh boy. They don't got no kind of tugboat or no kind of ferry that can get you across there?
Yeah, but how the hell are you gonna do that? So every 20 minutes you're gonna jump on a tugboat?
No, I'm just saying this is the visit. Yeah, shit. I fly, man.
You gotta remember what she told you. You're gonna be driving for like a damn near an hour just over the water. The only reason why they built that is because without that, you got to drive for hours on actual land. You're not driving on land on that damn bridge. You're driving
an hour over water.
Yes, you're driving on top of water for hours.
Shit.
No gas station, no nothing.
Nah, bro.
No gas.
Is it two lane, 4 lane? What? How many lanes?
Yeah, it's gonna be 4 lanes.
Man, I'm in the heebie-jeebie just thinking.
Man, what the hell is this? So
am I the only one that feel like that? Am I the only one that's like this? Like, I have no problem driving, but like this driving over water. Am I the only one that feel that way?
I think you are. I think you are. I'm gonna go out on a limb. All right, so I got a question from my apps. My app says, if you learn Champion dishwashers, is it a good base for working on other commercial units? I started with Champion first. Champion dishwashers are not like CMA. All right, let me break this down to you. You got one family of engineering, which is American Dish, CMA. You got American Dish, CMA, and like one other. And those designs are indistinguishable. The reason for that is the employees left American Dish and started CMA. Then you got Jackson, which is now owned by Hoshizaki. Some of Jackson designs are kind of similar to Champion, but you guys got to keep this in mind every single time. This is just like cars. That's like saying, is working on Dodge. All right, hey brother, hold on. Call me. Well, call the show. Working on Dodge. Is working on Dodge gonna help me work on a Mercedes? And so the engineering is different on some of these things. The engineering is different. So hold on 1 second, brother Frank. It's gonna help you. Just know that there are going to be differences. All right, brother Frank. What is the problem you have with the Crest Core? All right, so you can't call up, but what kind of problem were you having with that Crest Core heater, the warmer? Excuse me, guys. I was trying to show you this damn Amazon. So Amazon is bringing packages straight in. There it is. God dang it. So there's the Amazon Prime container.
On this episode of What's Going
Amazon is bringing sea containers, well, the ships that actually bring sea containers all the way into Houston directly. So it's going to be LA, I think it's LA, Miami, and Houston, something like that. So they first started this when they wanted to get rid of the crazy problems that they had in the docks in LA. So they said, screw that. We're gonna open up. We're gonna open up and be able to ship directly to the US from Houston. So we see Amazon containers all the time. All the time. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see what this brother got. Brother said he's driving right now. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. Let's see if we get Brother Frank on the phone. Let's see what the hell Frank had. Hey, there he goes. Brother Frank, I was just going to call you.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Brother Frank? So what
You
kind of
hear me well? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, check this out. And you know what, Mike? I was saying, man, let me see what's going on. And look here. So I go over there, right? And he tells me that the unit's not getting power. He said an electrician came out and ran power to it, and it hadn't worked in 2 months. So I couldn't find a disconnect to turn it off, but
there is no disconnect. It's a 110 plug.
Yeah. But the way they have it set up, it's going to a contactor, and I checked the power on it. It's getting power to the contactor, but on the load side. But then on the income is, well, what I did, I engaged the contactor.
Yeah.
and I wasn't getting that 110 on the other side, 120. So
Right,
I told him, so I told him, hey man, we're gonna get this contactor replaced first, and then we'll go from there.
There
And
is no go from there, brother. There ain't nothing wrong with the damn unit. You found the problem with the unit. Ain't nothing else wrong with it. It's a damn warmer, brother. It's a warmer. And
that's
hey,
pretty much it.
this is the #1 contributor to the show. This is Brother Frank. This is
Man,
brother.
right.
So,
But
brother,
okay.
brother, there is nothing to these damn units. It is just a controller, a heating element.
Yeah.
That's it, and a pan that holds water and the heating element, because this was a 110 unit, right?
Yeah, you know what he's doing, Mike? He oh man, he got some. Mike, I get this up and going, man. He got some work because he got some. He has a walk-in freezer and cooler that's down too. So, and you know that's what I do with that commercial AC. So I'm definitely gonna jump on it.
Yeah, but so
But
chances
that
are that contactor, so that contactor went out, but they splashed around some water and
okay.
caused that problem. That's probably why they added a contactor to that damn thing. But that's it. That's it. That's all.
All right, and you know I do have it, but at the time it was late, man. I don't like working after 5 o'clock, so I really just want to show my face and go over there and troubleshoot it.
Yeah, there's nothing else. I mean, you could have wired it up, bypass the contactor.
I thought about doing that too, but man, some things I just don't want to do.
Well, I'm trying to figure out because it don't have a contactor in it.
Man, and Mike, see, and I was thinking the same thing, but what it is, they have it's got a push button for the on and off button. So I'm assuming that's sending a signal to that contactor, but
to the core.
That's what's throwing me off, because I would think, well, that's kind of strange though.
It is strange. I don't remember seeing one with a contactor.
Mike, you see, and he told me, and this is what he told me, like he said, man, I got a good electrician. So he told me, and then he said the electrician told him, man, all he did was wire it up. And he said, man, this unit's not coming on, but it's definitely getting power. But
so if he is a contactor for Crestcore, but once again, this is that's a 208. That's not a 110. So if he has such a good good electrician, how come the damn electrician didn't change the contactor?
Man, I don't know.
Mike.
I don't know if you checked that or not.
Oh, hey, what's controlling the contactor? It's like a thermostat controller. What's pulling the contactor in?
Yeah. And I owned all that out, man. It's got a thermostat on it, and like I said, I checked that. That's good. But also, it's got an on and off button on it, so and everything leads back to that contactor. Right.
There's nothing to that. The most sophisticated piece of equipment on that is that damn contactor. There's nothing.
Like I say, and that's what I did, Mike. I engaged the contactor and nothing happened.
Right, but
what?
But you wait a minute. Right,
you pushed in the contactor and nothing came on.
Nah, man. Like I say, when I engaged the contactor, I checked to see if I was getting power on the other side of it. It wasn't getting power.
You don't got no power. You probably got a trip breaker. You got a trip breaker somewhere.
No, it's getting power to the unit and all the way to the contactor. But what I did, I engaged the contactor, and then I checked my power on the other side of the contactor. There was no 110.
All right, your contactor is dead.
The contactor is bad.
The points are fouled out. The points on the contactor are fouled out.
Yeah, so it looked like it said a 40 amp on there. So and I went to the breaker to try and turn it off, but man, it's an old store, man. It's a little barbecue joint, but I don't like messing with stuff that I can't read. I can't read, man, and I'm definitely gonna have to try and figure it out, because I don't want to turn all this stuff out just to try and see what's happening.
See if I can find. But did you take any pictures of the contactor?
No, I didn't. But I'm going back over there tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. I told him I'll come back tomorrow. Because and like I said, I got some contact. I got some commercial contact.
Yeah, you'll be good. There's nothing to those units. I mean, because when you got a bad element, you got a bad element. I mean, you'll be able to power the unit on. You'll be able to put it on, and it just won't come to temperature. It only goes up to 180 degrees.
And see, my thing is, Mike, what I don't like doing, man, I don't like touching people's stuff when they don't when they be lying about saying, "Hey man, it was just working." And the dude did tell me it hadn't worked in 2 months. But at the same time, I feel like when he said he had a good electrician, it seemed like the electrician should have checked that contactor too.
Let me stop you right there, brother. There's the reason why I got 100,000 damn photos. You take your picture, you video. It is for your safety. Oh, SA. If you want me to do work, I'm going to video me doing work. I'm not going to get any of you all in the video. I'm not going to get any of your proprietary equipment, no company logos, none of that stuff in there. But I'm videoing what I'm doing. And once you do that, you're covered, brother. You're covered.
All right, then.
You're covered. You take that picture. Like I said, once you're done, delete it. You know, a week or two, a month, delete that picture, delete that video. That's it.
All right, brother.
I got, man, because I told y'all I got 100,000 pictures, 100,000 pictures and videos, man. I don't play because they say, oh, it was like this. No, let's bring back that beautiful beam footage. Yeah, it's right there. It's free. You already paid for the phone.
Yeah, you right.
Take it. And then what I usually do is I usually show them the video. And that dead's all.
I'm sorry, Mike. I did take a picture of that. I took a picture of that of that contactor and showed it to one his because what it is a guy that I know who used to cut grass with me. He's now the manager of that little joint over there. So I took a picture, showed it to him, and he did show it to the owner. I'm sorry.
Well, that's probably, what is it, a 110 coil or is it a
yeah, that's all it is, a 110 coil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. The points are filed out. That's it. That's all. The points are filed out on that damn thing.
That's all I'm gonna do. Hopefully that's it, Mike. That's all it is. And I'm hoping I'll get it up and running. And then, like I said, I told him, man, I can definitely look at that walk-in cooler.
Well, that walk-in cooler is infinitely more involved than that damn.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I was working on. I was working on that today. Yeah, I was working on some coolers today, man.
Yeah. So what was it? It was just an upright like this one. Oh, you can't really see you.
Yeah,
upright single door or two doors.
I was working on today was a walk-in freezer. I'm sorry, I was working on walk-in freezer today.
Okay, I was talking about the Crest core.
Oh no, okay, yeah, the Crest core is about 6 feet tall. It's got a top and a bottom, and what he's doing, Mike. He's after he bakes his potatoes and his he cooks his briskets, he puts them inside of there, and like I say, he wants it to cool off. He wants it to warm the food up while it's still in there. But he said right now that's all he has. So
right, he needs
I'm gonna definitely mess with that.
80 something like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna mess with that. But again, man, I'll let you know how it turns out, man. Y'all have a good evening. I'm gonna continue to listen to y'all, man.
All right, brother.
Hey, brother Frank, what area you in, brother Frank?
I'm in Dallas, man.
Texas. Damn. Okay, everybody in Texas.
yeah, in Dallas, man. What it is, I have an appliance repair business, but I work for a guy doing some commercial HVAC and refrigeration.
Oh man, so if I'm in Texas, man, I'm gonna check you brothers out, man.
Hey man, come on down, brother. Y'all have a good evening, man.
All right, you too, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for the call.
Go get that bread, man. Hey, what's that brother name, Mike? You were talking to right there?
Andre.
Mr. Andre, I was listening on some of the things you were talking about, man. And my thing is, man, I'm like that too, man. I want to try to do everything, but then I say, you know what? I'm gonna just stick to what I know. And also, man, I heard you talking about doing dishwashing, but the thing is, man, and then you talking about hiring some guys, you gonna have to, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. And my thing is, I'm gonna just do what I know I do, and I'm gonna just stay a one-man show. I'm good.
Everybody keeps saying that, man. Everybody.
You got it,
man. I'm telling you, man. Man, I used to own a lawn business, man, and that was a headache, bro. I used to go pick this dude up, man. I take him, and it was just a headache. But then I said, you know what? I'm done with that, man. I can do what I can do by myself. Right now, I'm at that
Mhm.
same point, man. I already know what I can do, and I don't want to be out there all day like I am right now, man. But
Yep.
I can do 2 calls and then in the morning, and then 2 calls in the evening. I'm good. I'm telling you, brother, and that's enough money for me and my family.
I hear that, man. You just like me. If I don't got to be out past 5 o'clock, I ain't being out past 5
Oh
o'clock.
man,
Bro.
yeah, man, because the traffic over here, man, is crazy, bro. And I don't even like going to North Dallas, and I'm in the southern sector of Dallas, and I really just want to stay in my area. And I don't even care to go across what they call 635, because that ain't nothing but a headache, man. It took me an hour and a half to get home today to go see
Oh
this guy.
my
And I
goodness.
was pissed about that, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man,
Uh-uh.
I hate traffic, brother. I hate it with a passion.
You and me both, man. You and me both. You and me
But anyway,
both.
man, y'all enjoy the rest of the evening. I'm gonna continue to listen though, Mike.
All right,
All
you be
right, all
safe.
right.
All right, brother.
All right.
Yep. I
Yeah, see,
like what Learner Trade said. A lot of his customers rather upgrade than do the retrofit system. I totally agree. I'll push upgrade any day, man, because warranty, less headaches, you know? Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But on the all right, so on the employment front,
Mm.
I agree with Brother Frank, and you will find that most guys at a one-man show, they weren't always a one-man show. At one point in time, they had additional guys that if you actually sit down and talk to them, you'll find out they had their brother working for them, they had their cousin working for them, they had their brother-in-law working for them, their nephew, and so on and so forth. And I was in the parts house. I was in Hoshizaki, and the guy didn't realize who I am, or at least I don't think he knew who I was. And I'll just tell y'all, it's a company called Lil John. And he had blew up his company to the point where he had about between 15 and 20 techs. And it got too big for him. And he ended up shedding, and I think now it's just 2 of them.
Mm.
He said, hell with it. Now it's just 2 of them. But he was a force to be reckoned with. I actually, because the 2 of us, we used to compete over Freddy's Frozen Custard. That was a customer we were both fighting over for for dominance over. And he had blew up to the point where he couldn't deal with the young guys. He just couldn't deal with it. And I started meeting some of these guys here, there. Some of them would be facilities manager at the old companies that they used to have accounts with and stuff like that. And brother, there's nothing wrong with you finding out for yourself, because the more people you have, the more money you're going to make.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what do they say? More money, more problems. So it all depends on if you're willing to deal with it. Because Brother Frank's story is the same as my story. I have on my father's side, I used to have 35 first cousins. And I got a whole bunch of second cousins on my mother's side. And my wife, she's got a bunch of, like, her nephew is here. He don't drive. He will not drive. He's from New York. He won't drive. So what he is really no use to me. Even if I take him and train him, he's not motivated. He don't want to do it. You got all these little nuanced problems that you run into. In addition to the people that you're not related to. So the people you're related to, that's one issue you got with them, because you're not paying them enough. You're not treating them right, blah, 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 blah. They gonna complain to the family about some bullshit. And then the people that you hire that's not your blood, those are the ones that are stealing from you. You know what I'm saying? They're doubling back to customers. Oh, hey man, I could work for you. I'll do this. They're customers. Brother Charles got so many stories. We got so many stories about how guys will go ahead to a site and then they'll call in and the same old story. Oh, the customer turned down the estimate, blah, blah, blah. And then you find you bust their ass at the part house buying the same part that they told you the customer turned down. Well, my favorite is the distributor come calling you and say, hey, you know your boy was over here. He come ask rewire this and rewire that. I said, uh-huh. I said, okay, because I might turn the customer down and say, hey, I got to retrofit a unit and that's going to cost you X amount of dollars. But they thinking they're going to get the whole chop. Oh, yeah, you go buy the part, I'll go ahead and put it in for you. And then they don't even know how to put it in. So that's just, brother, it's just so much. But it's something you have to experience for yourself. As a business owner, you do have to see just how far you can go with that. And some of us, we go back to it. We say, all right, I'm cool. I'll go ahead and hire some more people. You know, but you'll notice some guys are just not excited about it. You might be wondering, like, but damn, you talking about a lot of money. Man, come bail me out. Man, my old lady called on me again, and man, I need a couple of dollars, and my car broke down, and brother, it's so many. Man, because I had that same problem. My brother-in-law, he used to have domestic. This is my own brother-in-law. They ended up deporting his ass, and this is way before all this stuff that's going on right now. So I'm needing to do a job, and his ass is locked up because he got into an argument with his girl. So it's you do the right thing. You are responsible. I didn't even get into the drinking. I didn't even get into the drinking and the smoking, because you got the cigar smoke, you got the cigarette smoke, you got customers complaining, talking about, I used to have one guy. The women would call me and say that the guy was flirting with them.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? So you get that one too. You get that one. Where it's like, dude, man, you can't be doubling back to these houses and go ahead and oh man, but she said to come back. That ain't what she said.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they want to use your job as a dating service. So something that you need your own stories. You know what I'm saying? You gotta write a story in this world. You gotta leave your own mark on this planet and have fun doing that, brother. Have fun doing it.
Oh man, sometimes experience is the best teacher. It don't really have to be my experiences; it could be yours.
Just know that if you got your Rico Suave on the team, hey, you can sit down with dude, tell him, hey man, every chick ain't here for you. You don't hit on the girls, because how many times you go to a place and the woman is barely wearing anything? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Right. You see, you got the sun and all that stuff, so you ain't gonna do the same thing, not like somebody else.
Yeah.
That happens with a guy. He ain't even he's married, and that's a whole nother thing. It's a whole, man. You'll have the wife show up to a job site. You know what I'm saying? Customers pissed off, like, who the hell is this parked out? Like, hey, he thinks he's cheating, and she shows up at the wife or the girlfriend don't want them working. You ain't going working. You out there gonna go see some girl, brother. It is you have to experience these things for yourself.
I don't want all that, man.
No. Because you're cutting yourself off from money. You're cutting yourself off from an opportunity. You need to see what's out there. And you need to see what's out there, because, and this is my experience with people that are much older now. Now we got the whole YouTube, TikTok, Instagram thing. You can't hire nobody because they want to do DoorDash. Mark the Mentor just had this thing out. Like, yeah. Nowadays, when you go to try to hire somebody, they rather go ahead, instead of listening to you, tell them how, hey man, you didn't wire the contactor right. Hey man, what coil voltage was on that contactor? Man, you be tripping, man. I'm man, forget it. And then they go do Uber, DoorDash. I didn't have that. Now you're gonna have that. So, you know, that's the thing. They some of them, because they might want to live what they what they pick, and maybe she's a nurse, maybe she's a lawyer, maybe she's, you know what I'm saying? So he just need to get out the house for a little bit. He just gotta have just a little bit. You gotta have just enough to pay the bill, pay a bill, light bill, phone bill, gas bill, and then she cool with it. She cool. Oh, he doing something. He working. He trying. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you trying to get that motherfucker to pick up the phone, try to get him to come on. Hey, man, I need you to go back on that call back of yours. Need you to go back over to, hey, man, what happened over there? I got to go on over to that job you was at. What went down? What did you do?
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff right there. Man.
Where the money at? Them people they gave you cash. Where the money at, man? So fun times. So you got to develop your system. Your system.
This is it. I'm telling you, this is it.
So and then people
what
like
I'm gonna do, and everyone thinks I'm gonna do without it.
Because they say, hey man, you can't be talking to me like that. Talking to me like what? I just told you, man. Hey, you got to do this. You got to clean up after yourself when you go. They said you was doing this. They said you was doing that. Oh man, you always taking a side. They sent me video, bro. They sent me pictures. What you talking about? I'm taking a side. Oh, and then the theft thing. Like I said, it ain't just a theft from you. It's a theft from the locations they go to. I had, and this wasn't my employee. I had I was talking with Subway. Subway was paying this guy $1.5 million. They had a huge number of Subways here in Houston, and $1.5 million. Now, if you know anything about working with Subway, Subway pays for the parts. They only pay you the labor. So when you go out, you got to diagnose it. They'll go into the register. They'll select a part off the IPC system. It gets delivered to that store next day. So all your pay is for service call, travel, and labor. So 1.5 of all that, the guy lost the contract because one of the employees stole a purse from one of the Subway girls.
Dang.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How would you like that? How would you like to lose $1.5 million because some dude want to steal a Mexican chick purse? Work at Subway.
Oh,
work at Subway. She work at Subway. What the hell was he gonna get out of a Mexican chick purse that work at Subway?
Oh my goodness.
Was her purse full of tips? I mean, it ain't even from a nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you lose that annually from one customer. So, and that was one of the first questions. You ain't got nobody work for you that got sticky fingers, do you? No, I don't. We got the guy on video. He was stealing the girl purse. Shit. So these are all, in talking with you guys, this is why I say call up. There are these things that you don't realize. That's why now, and you'll see some of the guys on YouTube and Instagram and stuff, they got cameras in the van watching the guy. Not watching the road, watching the guy. So all that kind of stuff, because you want to watch him. How many times has the guy driven off the road because he was texting and driving, and he in the company van? You put him in the company van, and then they taking the van, going this, going here, going there, and the van smelling like weed. You know what I'm saying? So fun times. So these are all things you gotta take into consideration, things you gotta prepare your business for. And it's like you were talking about earlier, with getting rules and regulations together. Yeah, that's some of the stuff you gotta do, brother. some of the stuff you got to do.
Shoo.
Liabilities,
man.
Well, that's all business is, bro. That's all. Like, hey, man, you got the working part down. You got the repair part down. So you're like, okay, all I got to do is scale up from here. Yeah, but who you gonna get? Like you said before, hey, man, I'm gonna get these guys. I'm gonna train them, and it's like, sometimes you give people a chance, and it works for you. They'll be your best employee. And other times you give them a chance and they beat and broke into your house when you go to work.
Ain't that some shit? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I took this kid, man. He used to come to the house every day. I'd make him breakfast. He'd hop in the van with me. I'd take him. I'd train him in the trade. He called off work one day. He heard my wife talking about how she was going to go shopping. And, oh, man, I'm sick. I don't feel good. Broke into the house. I fed the man every day. Every day. Sat down at the table with me and my wife. So, brother, you're opening yourself up to the world. You got the working part down. You got the marketing part down. But the people is the problem. The people getting the right person. Oh, and I forgot. I got to talk about this one. So, Big Ack. So this brother hit me up on IG before too, and he was talking about NAFM. So I did, in the beginning of the year, I go over all the events for the entire year, right? NAFM, Rhythma, all that stuff for the entire year, because you have to plan for that. You got to plan for these shows, because you got to travel. So he is talking about, hold on, which it starts in another day. NAFM 2025. All right. So I used to go to this show. They used to have it quite a bit in Chicago, and then they started rotating. So they would rotate between Vegas, Chicago, and Orlando. And then now they started adding. So this year, this brother's in Atlanta. And so this year, the NAFM show is in Atlanta. So just keep in mind, when you go to these shows, the NAFM, the pizza shows, stuff like that, these are chefs. These aren't, like that was a guy from PBS. These are chefs. They aren't set up to talk to you about the service side of things. They're chefs. They're marketing people. The sales staff that's there isn't even associated with the brand. They're a third-party marketing company hired to hand out pamphlets and talk about the products. They actually don't even have much association with the actual manufacturer. You will find there will be one engineer at every one of the brand booths. So you see, like I said, Middleby in the background. So you will find one person from Middleby there. You will find one person from Middleby that's from the engineering department. They might not be from tech support, because tech support guys have to answer the phone, but they'll be from the engineering and R&D side, and they'll be able to talk to you about things, but they won't be able to get you set up in the system. None of these things are not designed for technicians. These things are designed for Papa John's, McDonald's, Burger King, Olive Garden, Chipotle, that type of thing, to show what they got, how they can cook food faster and still have it deliver the right taste, the right texture. Because oftentimes they will cook food faster and then it loses the texture, or it'll lose some of the taste. And so this is actually what the show is all about, showing these people what the equipment can do. So just keep that in mind. They don't even have anything set up for us, but you know, like any kind of, like, see, you go to the events, they don't even have anything like that for us. This is all about, you know, mingling with these people, and they're restaurant owners, they're distributors, there are lots of salespeople sitting through there. But if you're not familiar with the equipment, if you're not working in these restaurants and grocery stores and hotels day in and day out, you're not going to be up on some of this stuff. But this is where you could discover the new stuff. This is where they show it off at. But other than that, brother, I'm back. Yeah, HVR, LED Handyman, HVACR Symposium in Florida. That is Kalos. So the Kalos deal, that he's hyper focused on air conditioning. Kalos HVAC. And yeah, he's not HVACR, he's just HVAC. Yeah, and he's branching out. So he is in Clement, Florida. So at his facility is where he has his thing, where he has his symposium. So commercial refrigeration, HVAC, construction. As you see, no appliances. He doesn't get involved with that. Now I'm gonna say his brother-in-law that works for him, speaking about family members working for you, his brother-in-law Bert is funny as hell. I used to watch all of Bert's stuff years ago, like 10, 15 years ago. Bert used to do these skits online. Back when they were a much smaller company. It looks like they are a much bigger company now. They're a much bigger company. Yeah, this is Brian Orr. He's president, but this is his brainchild. He does the heavy lifting of the training. It's all based on him. I don't know who the hell Keith is. And there's Robert Orr, who's his father. So that is what, yeah, and he takes care of Publix and Walmart and stuff like that, Cube Smart. So that is the like LED Handyman. That's the HVACR Symposium. That's who runs it. That's his thing, and he goes heavy in depth into HVAC. So he's who I defer to. They reached out when I first had my channel, and they congratulated me on having my channel. And I had to explain that I'm not really going to be talking about, you know, HVAC. You know, I'm lightly going to be touching on refrigeration, but I'm generally going to be addressing everything, you know, everything else. But all right, brother, that's it. That's it. I'm done with that part. So, hey, damn, I forgot what state you said you was in. What state are you in?
Florida.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. So northern, central, southern, what part of Florida?
Yeah, Orlando, Kissimmee. I used to work with Brian Orr at Del Air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live in West Palm Beach. Hated Florida, brother. I hated Florida.
What?
Oh my God, I hated Florida. I hated Florida with a passion. Still do. I don't even go to Florida. I don't even go to Florida, bro. You know, I always bring up the people. Here's my Florida passion. I always bring up the Florida about Florida, like, oh man, you going to Florida? Oh man, you about to gain so much weight. Man, you gonna gain like 20 pounds. Oh man, you gonna be in the house when you go to Florida, said by nobody ever. See, at least you got that that like downtown that nightclub scene over there.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 11th?
Downtown Orlando.
Down, yeah.
Good
so
street.
You got that
Good
but brother, when you go down there, you go 3 hours south to where I used to live, and you in West Palm Beach with all the old people, bruh, it was no fun. There's no fun. There's no fun there. And then by the time you drive all the way down to Fort Lauderdale, you drive all the way down to Miami, bro, you tired.
You tired. You ready to go back home. You want to do nothing else, man.
Because you get down there, and then by the time you actually do find some damn parking, you have to fight to get that parking, bro. You done. You done.
Yeah.
You done. Get to some little ass club that's the size of a clock. Nah, you done. You done.
We did a little job out there in Miami. Me and my business partner. We did a little job out there, and you know, we drove down there in the morning, and we drove back. Listen, we left the house like around 6 o'clock in the morning. We got back like around 4 o'clock in the morning. When I tell you, when I got home, I got into bed. I'm telling you, I slept hard. And even when I got up, it felt like I still didn't get no rest. I'm like, what the hell did I just, what just happened to me? We just traveled. But then that road, man, that little, what is it? I want to say the turnpike, whatever you want to call it, I-95, the turnpike.
Well, 95 ain't the turnpike. The turnpike.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The turnpike.
Road. And no, it's the heat. It's the heat that zap you. I know you in Florida, you in Orlando, but that heat. Now, when you start to get down Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, the temperature drastically changes in Florida. From West Palm Beach on down, it's hotter than hell. West Palm Beach, it just drains you. You driving, your whole left side is a different color than your right. And I'm here, that don't even happen. That hasn't happened since I lived in West Palm Beach. I used to go all the way from Jupiter all the way down to Hialeah and all that stuff.
Wow, man, that's a lot of traffic you was cutting through, I bet.
No, it wasn't that bad back then. It really wasn't that bad back then. It ain't nothing like it is. It ain't nothing like it is now.
Man, that place is crazy.
Yeah, I live down there. My daughter is 13, so I lived down there. Yeah, like 14 years ago. Untamed Kango, look. Yo, Untamed Kango, man, but for real, man, who is taking a trip to Florida for the food? Not nobody. Not nobody. Never, ever. And the other thing I'm gonna bash Florida about, because I got so many horror stories with Florida and food. Other thing I'm gonna talk about Florida about with the damn food is, where are y'all damn restaurants? If Florida got such good food, where are the, oh man, here in Houston, man, we just got that new restaurant out of Florida, said by nobody ever. Oh man, in LA, man, this new concept, man, is straight out of Florida. It's out of Miami. Never. When did somebody from New York say, man, you gotta go to this joint, man? They same joint like they got down there in Fort Lauderdale and Holidale, Joe. You never, I mean, they don't say Joe, but you never hear that. You never hear that. I've never done this story. I never done a story about a restaurant that came out of Florida. Everything goes into Florida. Yep. Everything goes into Florida. Oh yeah, you got California Pizza Kitchen. You ain't got no Florida Pizza Kitchen. You ain't got ain't nobody going to
Mike, you giving out ideas, Mike. You giving out too many ideas, man.
Oh, you had an idea. Ain't nobody gonna back you up on it, bro.
Bro, watch. I'm gonna be surprised next year somebody come up with something Florida pizza.
Bro, I swear to you, it's gonna be a torta with some, bro. And dude, it's gonna be ceviche on top of the pizza, bro. Come on, man.
Nah, Mike, they got some good soul food restaurants down here.
Bro, everybody got good soul food restaurants, man. Everybody got good soul food restaurants, but but all right. So, but like you said, your soul food restaurants is going to be what? Tallahassee is going to be up that way.
Now you got some in Orlando.
Like I said, Orlando is 3 hours north of West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Orlando is 4 hours, north of Fort Lauderdale, 4.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Where are these soul food restaurants? Where are they on this dine and drive? Where they at with that?
I heard you say it.
What he stopping at with that? Oh man, you gotta go down there to Florida, man. You gonna get you some? No.
I remember every time we was little, we used to go to Georgia, Dawson, Georgia, and every time we get to Dawson, there's this place called Jimmy Dean. He used to sell chili hot dogs, best chili hot dogs ever. We get them coming in, we get them going out. My cousin just went to Dawson, and my sister just went to Dawson to bury my father.
Sorry.
Yeah. She said she went to go get the hot dogs. She said the hot dogs don't taste the same. I was like, she said, the guy that was making the hot dogs, he gave it to his family. His family, he was just collecting the checks, just putting some shit together,
Yeah.
They got some spots, Mike. They got some spots.
Right. You won't even name them. They got some spots, right? These are world famous Florida spots. I'm laughing just saying it. These are world famous Florida spots. Yeah.
See.
These are world famous Florida spots. Right.
And I have a friend that's I went to school with him. He's a caterer. And he does professional catering. He's real good at it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in his ear. I'm gonna say, hey, listen, man, you know what? Hey, no, ain't nothing really good coming out of Florida. Won't you come up with a good recipe, and just do something creative, find you a little restaurant and just make put Florida on the map, and you can franchise this thing out.
Bro, that's why Florida has so many people that do catering. Because they're such trash. Everybody does catering. Everybody. My wife used to do catering down there. When I met her, she was doing catering. Yeah, everybody, because the food is trash. So bad. Matter of fact, there's one girl, she was on the internet, and she was in West Palm Beach. She sold both her food trucks and moved to Africa. Bro, everybody does. So essentially, she was doing catering, but everybody does catering down there. But she was a Jamaican, wasn't even selling Jamaican food.
Oh my, what she selling?
She was a Jamaican selling Mexican food.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, Florida, man. Florida is just. I was never so happy than when I moved the hell out of Florida, bro.
Yeah. You got a lot of restaurants out there in Texas. I can give it to you.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So Chicago, you can't go wrong. Texas, you can't go wrong. The food is it's the same people. Back and forth between this triangle, Louisiana, Texas, and Illinois. It's a same triangle of the same people, same food, and all that stuff, man. All that stuff. So yeah. But with that said, man, yeah, it is a lot of opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah, have a good night, brother. Have a good night. Yeah, so it's a lot of opportunity. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna play. Let's see what I got left. Hell.
Yeah, good night, LED.
Yeah, LED handyman. Yeah, he said when he was down there on base, he never left base to eat in Florida. Yeah, man, ain't nothing to eat there, man. Ain't nothing to eat. I never cooked so much. No, I take that back. I think I cooked about the same amount when I lived in Pennsylvania. But other than that, I never cooked at home so much in my life as when I lived in Florida, bro. I said, because to be fair for y'all in Florida, the only chain that I do know about is and I don't think Famous Dave's. Let me see Famous. There's a chain called Chicken's Kitchen. And so we got one or two here in Houston. Chicken's Kitchen. Okay. They got one in New Orleans too. And I believe Chicken Kitchen is out of Florida. I think that's the only chain I know of. Let me see here. Or is it Kitchen Chicken or something? I don't know what the hell they call it. This ain't it though. Hold on, let me see. Or maybe it's Famous Dave's. I mean, what chain do y'all got that come from Florida?
I don't even know, man. I don't go out that much.
Right. Thank you. See? See? Isn't that what I said? Isn't that what I said? Bruh, I never cooked so much in all my life.
They got Bonefish at the restaurant. I go to the Bonefish in Bahama Breeze. But yeah, you're right. It ain't no restaurant that Florida is like is famous for, you know? You're right about that.
Chain restaurants, and all the chains come from somewhere else. But all come from somewhere else. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if I can find, because I think maybe Famous Dave's is out of Florida. But even then, I didn't really care for that neither. I don't really care for that. I can't think of no type of food that come out of that place. I was just never so happy as when I left that joint. Never so happy. Yeah, brother. Yeah, there's no part of that damn place. No part of that place. My daughter's 13, so she would probably love to be in Orlando. But outside of that, And even now, I hear Orlando is super expensive. As far as with the restaurants. I mean, not the restaurant. I'm talking about with Disneyland, Disney World.
Yeah.
I heard it's super expensive. You used to go in there for, what was it, $60 a day?
Yep. Everything going up, man.
And now what is it? Is it $120 a day?
Man, listen, I don't say up to that, but I know it's a lot of money.
He just raised it. He just raised it.
It might be 120. That sounds about right. Cause I know, yeah, it got to be 100. It's 100. It got to be 100. The last time that I seen the advertising on TV, it was like around $100 and some odd dollars, man.
Yeah,
and that
so
was like a year ago.
Right, but the nice thing about it is $120 a day. So the nice thing about Orlando is that you got, because we got a taste of that when we was in West Palm Beach, but you got all of that condo business, you got all of that but real estate manager business.
Project manager.
Yeah, everybody, mama do that, man. Tennis pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm a tennis pro, but I also manage this property and that property or something like that. I'm like, oh, Lord. Everybody named mama does that down there. Everybody named mama. So that's the nice things, that everybody down there is always looking for somebody to do work for them. And I can't say that about Orlando. And it's like that too with West Palm Beach. I don't know what the hell everybody talking about. Some, man, you don't understand, Mike Reed. It's hard in Florida. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Nah, it ain't. It's not hard. Once you get plugged in with the right people, you down here, man. It's a wrap. You making money.
Right.
You're gonna make it. Trust me. You're definitely gonna make
it. Why you say that about Tallahassee? Ain't that where you gonna get your soul food from, man? I can see Biloxi, and see, I don't even eat fish. I can eat shellfish, but I can only eat fish. So, man, living in Florida is just wasting on me. Living there for a 4-day business food everywhere. Yes, the food everywhere was awful.
Gotta look at the cook. You gotta look at the cooks, man. You gotta look at the cooks. Who cooking the food?
Well, let's be honest. The cooks down there is all women.
Oh shit!
My wife down there, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I just talked about that one girl. She just left. She was, she just sold her 2 food trucks. I give Florida that. Florida got some women, and they do cook. They cook, but as a whole, the food be just.
I guess they're afraid to put seasoning in it.
No,
Everybody got.
it's hard to explain. It is not that. It is not that. Brother, I've gone to a restaurant with my wife, and then she dug into the plate and pulled out a whole long strip of plastic. Turns out they took the food that was in the bag. All they did was heat up the bag, cut it open, and slide it off into the plate.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's Florida, man. Because everybody on the come up, everybody hustling down there. Everybody hustling. They think they can have a restaurant with 2 people, and that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Right. They ain't no food quality.
Nah, wait a second. I know a couple, man. I got one right down the street, man. It's good. Uncle Tony's, man.
Hey, man.
I got me some cornbread. The other day with some collard greens and some macaroni and cheese, some pulled chicken. Delicious. With some peach cobbler. Woo!
I survived. I had my 4 restaurants I went to. I survived.
You know what? It's like you survived.
I swear, I survived. With the 4 restaurants, that place could break off and it just no.
No, I'm gonna tell you this right here. I'm gonna tell you this. This is it's a restaurant off Colonial, Sunshine Bakery. It's a Jamaican restaurant. Anytime you go in there, I'm gonna tell you this. You order whatever you order, right? Even if you order the snapper. If you order the snapper today and you go back and order the same snapper Saturday, it tastes the same.
Oh yeah?
Hands down. Food is fresh. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, and I'm not Jamaican. I'm not Jamaican, so I don't know what authentic Jamaican food is, but I tell you, it's fresh to me. You see, you got a lot of people in there, but it's good food. I tell you that.
Yeah, but that order, it came with a side of attitude, didn't it?
No. Listen, they used to have attitudes. I'm gonna tell you this. They used to have attitude. You standing in line like, yo, you're not gonna say next. I just gotta walk up. So they had like a Jamaican restaurant, and then they had like another restaurant, a Haitian restaurant, and then it was selling some fried chicken. Yeah. So, you know, some of the Jamaican girls at the counter, I guess they didn't want to help. They were too busy talking. So I just walked out the line to get some other food from the next spot. So I did that a couple of times. So they got familiar with my face. So next time I went in there, okay, sir. Oh, shit. That was change. You know, I'm sir now.
When nobody making you go and get the food like what I got to do. My wife gonna make me go, oh, I need you to go over there and get me this and get me that. I can't just walk out. What I used to do is I used to put my wife on the phone and tell her, hey, you gotta talk to your people or I'm leaving. Yeah, I used to let her do that. I'm like, you better get your people. I'm leaving. And straight up, like, yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I worked on AC package unit at a Jamaican restaurant 2 days ago.
Oh no!
And the chef, me and the chef. You know, I'm like, listen, man. I looked at him. I was like, what? I said, no process. Let me just relax because you know, this how he moves sometimes. You know, so let me just relax
until they get to know you. Yeah,
yeah. He warmed up real good though. We had no problems moving forward.
Right. Until they get to know you, it's gonna be attitudes. It's gonna be all kind of stuff. Once they know
you're great at managing tasks.
Once they get to know you, it's different. Then y'all best friends. You want you to hang out, come back, and all that other kind of stuff.
That's revolutionizing facilities management.
Hey, my apps. Fun fact about Texas. Texas isn't known for barbecue. Texas is known for steak. Like you said before, Carolina is known for barbecue. Carolina, because Carolina has hogs. You come to Texas, you're not going to find any pigs anywhere. This is cattle country. So if you want brisket, that's going to be here. If you want steak, that's going to be here. And then they're gonna smoke the meat and all that other kind of stuff. That's their idea of barbecue. That's their idea of barbecue, but it's because people come here, oh, we want some of that famous Texas barbecue, and you sit them down some brisket, and they're like, what the hell is this? I'm like, this is barbecue, brisket, smoked sausage, that kind of stuff. They're like, where the ribs at? Said, where the damn pigs at? Ain't no damn pigs. All cows. Hey, bro, I could go into the airport. I could drive 7 minutes from my house. I can run into some cows. I could drive right by a mall. I'm gonna see cows. You will not see or smell no pigs in no part of Houston.
This same thing in Florida. You're gonna see some cows, especially Kissimmee.
Yeah. But no pigs. There's no pigs. There's no pigs. This whole nobody's wearing a cowboy hat and riding a horse, rustling no damn pigs. That's not where that come from. You know, that's not where that come from. That come from cows. So that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get brisket. So you got a lot of the you know who's that the tiny hats. They cook a lot of brisket because it's not pork. And then we got a ton of Asians, the Vietnamese and all that kind of stuff. So you think it's black people making the ribs and all that stuff. I mean, well, the brisket and all that stuff. Man, it's Asians. It's Asians hooking it up. And they also doing the crawfish and shrimp and crab and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we got that going on down here. Yeah, ribs from St. Louis. Yes, ribs from St. Louis. Because they put the pigs on the barge, or they put it on the train, and St. Louis is where they slaughter a lot of the pigs, and then they process them in Chicago, in the meat market district. But hey, man, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I went on. I just wanted to talk about Elon, and I'm glad you came up, brother. I'm glad you came up. And it looks like we covered everything we wanted to, and I got a chance to bash Florida like every chance I get. I swear to you, I'm gonna bash that damn place. I'm gonna bash that joint every single time. Yeah, it's bro, Florida. Yeah, that'll be for another time. That'll be
all right.
Be for another time. Yep.
You got to go, man. Nah.
Yep. So I'll catch you guys on Thursday. If I don't come back earlier, I'll catch y'all on Thursday. And don't forget, I changed the training video. So there's going to be more training on the video. I actually got some compressor rebuild training classes. And matter of fact, some in Florida.
Okay.
So I got some of that on the video. Matter of fact, that is going to be on here. And so with that, I'll probably, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this and say thank y'all all for coming through. Oh, of course, my other side ain't working. Great. Hold on a second. I got it. Technical difficulties. Yeah. So this is the new one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, this is the new one. See, there's a Copeland scroll teardown video. So I got two. I got the Copeland scrolls and I got some other stuff. Some of the old stuff is in there, but it's still updated. So I'll play the video. Every time I do a video, I play the training video at the end. So it's at the end of every single video. So I got the Henny Penny stuff in there. True, because True is coming to a city near you. Because last time they did a day in training class was about 10 years ago. So that's another one. True got more money than True got more money than Sky Daddy, and they refuse to do freaking classes. So yeah, I might have to make some of this stuff a little longer. Damn, where the hell my thing go? Yeah, I might have to make some of this stuff a little longer, but as you can see, and then there's your CO2 for the zero zone for your grocery stores. They do some beer kegs too, and that's your champion because you signed up for that one, right?
No, I didn't sign up for that one.
Oh, okay, all right. Somebody hit me up, said it was in Florida.
Somebody else signed up for it.
All right, there's Micromatic, so there's more your grocery store because especially down there in Florida, you leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Because you got all the small grocery stores, the fisheries, and all that. What the hell you call a fish store? Fishery, right?
Fish market.
Fish market, yeah. So you got all those fish markets and stuff like that, and they need all that refrigeration, and so you do the AC and everything else along with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I just had the Pensacola, Florida. So there are a lot more training classes coming up in Florida. A lot more training classes in Florida. Florida and New York. Florida and New York is coming up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
Factory. Yes.
Yeah. What is that? Oh yeah, that's Columbia. But yeah, you got your Florida that's just gonna be. It's next month. You got next month. I think. Have you been to the Scotsman class?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Scotsman class comes up next month for you. So I'll be adding that. If I didn't already add it, it's in the end of the video.
Okay.
I think it's in the end of the video. So some of the stuff I put in, I try to mix it up, beginning, middle, and end. I do that. And as the stuff age out, I take it out. So by the 12th, I'm gonna take the Safessa thing out. And then the Carpigiani, like I show, this is the one that McDonald's uses. So this is the K3 class right here. So that's what McDonald's, that's their backup ice cream machine. So if you ever want to get in with a McDonald's, that's the backup machine. And they'll when it's time for them to get rid of the one they got, hey man, they might just go ahead and give the Carpigiani a try. And then you get the ice cream machine, you get the AC work, you get the ice cream machines, get the whole nine.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of money on the table, but that's the angle to all these things. It's like you could use one of these as a gateway. You could use one of these other things as a gateway to get in.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all you need. So especially if you can go ahead and pick up that extra money. And this AC is big with movie theaters. So that one, as soon as they come up with the new schedule for Creators, I'll be updating that one too. So they teach you how to fix all the equipment in the movie theater. All the stuff in the movie theater, with the exception of the carbonated drink machine. They teach you all the rest of that stuff. And there's your heat craft.
Yeah, I signed up for them.
Okay.
I think I just something online.
Yeah.
It was.
Yep. And then the Ansel. So, like I said, some people might want to do. They might want to get into that. And then the bun. Everybody got coffee. Everybody got coffee, and this is the one that Starbucks, not just Starbucks use, but Starbucks got it. This is another one. Yeah, because Dunkin' Donuts, and then what's the name is moving down that way too. The one from Canada. I don't know. It's the most famous one. I think St. Louis, Kansas. Damn. Oh, excuse me. What the hell is that one? Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. Because they use that same equipment. All right, coffee chain for Tim Hortons. So Tim Hortons. Yeah, Tim Hortons. You never heard of Tim Hortons?
No, I never heard of that.
Oh, okay. That's their Dunkin' Donuts. That's Canada's Dunkin' Donuts.
Tim Hortons.
Yeah, and so they're coming down into the States. We've already got about 5 or 6 of them here in Houston, and they're coming to Florida. Which, if they're coming to Florida, it usually means they're coming to Orlando.
I got to sign up for that then.
Tim Hortons, Florida.
Yeah,
Okay.
tourist area.
Tim Hortons is planning to return to Florida after leaving 30 years ago. The first new location is going to open in Ellington, a suburb near Bradenton.
I think that's like
they're going south. They said Hollywood. Let's see here.
That's about Naples, like going towards Naples or someplace like that. Bradenton, I think.
Okay. But yeah, they're going back into Florida. So Orlando is definitely on the hit list. Mm-hmm. Orlando is definitely on the hit list. But yeah, man. Yeah. Donuts. Well, yeah, it's not the Tim Hortons that everybody thought we were gonna get. It's very commercial. Damn, I can't enter an address. Let me see here. 33441 Deerfield Beach. No restaurants nearby. Yeah, they're not giving me much of option to look for this stuff. But all right, once again, I'd like to thank all y'all for hanging out with me. And I'll be back. If I don't come back sooner, I will be back on Thursday.
All right.
I'll check y'all out later.
All right. Good night.
All right, man. Good night.
This guy gets it. You nigga! You're not, bitch. Blame yourself. You don't think... Well, if you listen, I'm gonna tell you, man.
But there's also unknown. Things we don't know that we don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there. You know something at all, don't? Booby, I probably know a lot you don't. Computer says nah. You got to have vision.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
If I throw a dog a bone, I don't want to know if it tastes good or not.
Is there no one else?
I just need some liquidity, you know what I'm saying? If you're good at something, never do it for free. If you're not rich, blame yourself. You're not in 2008. Obviously, you can go back and say, okay, honestly, don't understand. What are they looking for?
Greed and panic.
Here now. Go.